Right now, this month, you are paying at least 3 bills that you are legally allowed to pay less for, and one that, depending on your income, you may not have to pay at all. And here is the part that should make you a little angry. Nobody whose job it is to collect that money is ever going to call and tell you. The phone company will not call. The insurance company will not call. The hospital billing department absolutely will not call. Because every one of these discounts, programs, and legal protections has the same design flaw, and it is not an accident. They only work if you ask. Before you decide this video is not for you, let me kill the 2 myths that make people click away from money that has their name on it. Myth 1. These programs are only for people in extreme poverty. Wrong. One of the biggest items on this list helps a family of 4, earning $66,000 a year, and another one works no matter what you earn. Myth 2. If I qualified for something, they would tell me. That is the most expensive sentence in America. Being eligible and actually paying less are 2 completely different things, and the only bridge between them is a phone call or a 1-page form that nobody is going to fill out for you. Today, I'm walking you through 5 bills, one at a time, in plain English, with the exact thing to ask for on each one. And stay with me to the end, because the 5th one is the largest of them all. It's the bill that ruins more budgets than any other in this country. It is protected by a federal law almost nobody has heard of, and it is the single easiest one on this list to act on. Let's start with the bill in your pocket. Your phone bill has 2 layers of savings stacked on top of each other, and most people don't know either one exists. Layer 1 is a federal program called Lifeline. If your household income is at or below 135% of the poverty line, or if you're enrolled in SNAP, Medicaid, or SSI, which automatically qualifies you, Lifeline takes $9.25 off your phone or your internet bill every month. Is $9 life-changing? No, but it's a bill the system already decided you shouldn't carry alone. It takes 10 minutes to apply at lifelinesupport.org, and several states stack their own discount on top. Layer 2 is for everyone, no income test, and this one is real money. The carrier you're with is almost certainly charging you 2 to 4 times more than the exact same network costs somewhere else. Here's the industry's quiet secret. The big carriers own smaller brands, and dozens of independent companies rent space on their networks that sell the same towers, the same coverage, the same 5G, under a different name for a fraction of the price. An unlimited line that costs $60 to $90 a month at the big-name store costs $15 to $30 a month from the discount brands riding the identical network. Same signal, same coverage map, different logo, different price. The typical switcher saves $30 to $50 a month per line for a family with 3 or 4 lines that can pass $1,000 a year. The action. This week, search prepaid carriers on my network. Check which one has coverage at your address and make the switch. Your phone will not know the difference. Your bank account will. Bill number 2, your car insurance. And this one comes with the single most expensive habit in personal finance: loyalty. Here's the data. More than half of drivers, 54%, never request a single competing quote when their policy renews. They just pay whatever the renewal letter says, and the companies know it. Meanwhile, Consumer Reports surveyed 40,000 policyholders and found that the people who did shop around and switch saved a median of $461 a year, nearly a third of what the typical driver pays. 92% of the people who switched saved money. 92%. This is the closest thing to a guaranteed raise that exists in your budget, and it costs 1 hour, once a year. Here's how the hour works. Get 3 quotes. The comparison sites do most of the work now. Then call your current insurer, tell them the best number you found, and ask what they can do. Sometimes they match it and you're done. Sometimes they don't and you switch. There's no penalty. And if you prepaid, you get the unused months refunded. 2 more moves while you're at it. If your car is old, worth less than 10 times the annual premium, ask what your bill looks like with liability-only coverage. That single change can cut the bill nearly in half on an older car. And once you've built the emergency fund we talked about in the last video, raise your deductible from $500 to $1,000. That's typically another 20 to 25% off the premium. Because now your wall, not your insurance company, absorbs the small stuff. That's the whole system. The wall protects the budget, and the budget builds the wall. Bill number 3, the electric and gas bill, the one everyone treats as untouchable. There's a federal program most working families have never heard of called LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It doesn't lend you money and it doesn't go on your credit. It pays part of your heating or cooling bill directly. And in many states, it can step in with emergency help if you're facing a shutoff. We're talking hundreds of dollars a year for households that qualify. And the income limits are higher than most people assume, especially for families with kids. Every state runs it a little differently, so the action is one search, your state's name plus LIHEAP application. While you're on that call, ask the utility company itself 2 questions. Do you have a budget billing plan? Which flattens the seasonal spike so January doesn't destroy you. And do you have a low income rate or arrearage forgiveness program? Many utilities do, and they are legally required in several states to offer payment plans before any shutoff. None of that appears on your bill. All of it appears when you ask. Bill number 4, the rent. And before you say, rent isn't negotiable, remember the number from our very first video, because it's the landlord's best kept secret. An empty unit costs the landlord a full month of rent or more. Turnover is expensive. Cleaning, repainting, listing, screening, and weeks of zero income. A good tenant who pays on time is not a charity case asking for a favor. A good tenant is a revenue stream asking for a business meeting. So here's the play, and the timing matters more than the words. 60 to 90 days before your lease renews, not after the increase letter arrives, before it, you send a short, polite note. You've enjoyed living here. You've paid on time for however many months it's been. You'd like to renew, and you're asking whether the rate can stay flat, or if an increase is coming, whether it can be reduced in exchange for signing a longer lease. That last part is the lever. A 2-year lease is 2 years of guaranteed income and 0 turnover risk. You are trading certainty, which costs you nothing, for money, which is real. Does it work every time? No. Does it work often enough that property managers privately admit they expect it from savvy tenants? Yes. And the worst case is the exact rent you are going to pay anyway. While we're here, if your building has changed ownership, if your unit has unrepaired issues, or if comparable units in your building are listed cheaper online, every one of those is leverage, and screenshots are your friend. 1 polite email a year. That's the entire cost of admission. And now the 5th bill, the one I told you to stay for. Medical bills. The largest, scariest, most budget-destroying bills in American life. And here's the sentence I need you to hear. Even if you hear nothing else today, if you were treated at a nonprofit hospital, and more than half of the hospitals in this country are nonprofit, that hospital is required by federal law to have a financial assistance policy. Not encouraged, required. It's a condition of the tax exemption they enjoy, written into Section 501R of the tax code. What does that policy actually do? At most nonprofit hospitals, If your household income is at or below roughly twice the federal poverty line, that's about $32,000 for a single person, about $66,000 for a family of 4. Your bill can be reduced to 0. Free. Not negotiated down. Erased. And on a sliding scale, discounts often reach families earning 3 to 4 times the poverty line. Read that again. A family of 4 making $60,000 a year can qualify for completely free care at many of these hospitals, and almost none of them know it. So why doesn't anyone know? Because the system is not designed to volunteer it. The application exists. The law says it has to. But it arrives buried in fine print on page 6 of a billing statement, or on a poster in a hallway you walked past on the worst day of your life. Nobody hands it to you in the emergency room. Nobody calls to say, you qualify. The bill just arrives, enormous and terrifying, and most people either drain their savings, put it on a credit card at 30%, or let it go to collections, never knowing that a one-page application could have erased it. So here's exactly what you do. And this works even if the bill already arrived, and in many cases, even if it's already gone to collections. You call the hospital's billing office, and you say these words: "I'd like to apply for financial assistance under your charity care policy." That exact phrase. They are required to have an application. Ask them to mail it or point you to it online. Fill it out with your proof of income, and send it back. If the bill is from a visit within the past year or 2, ask whether you can apply retroactively. At many hospitals, you can. And one more move while you have them on the phone. Ask for an itemized bill. Billing errors are common enough that reviewing the line items is worth 10 minutes of your life. You're checking that you were only charged for what actually happened. None of this requires a lawyer. None of it costs $1. It's a phone call and a form, standing between your family and what might be thousands of dollars. Now the honest part, because this channel doesn't sell fantasies. Not every one of these 5 will land for you. Lifeline has an income line. LIHEAP has an income line. Charity care depends on the hospital being non-profit and on your income. Your landlord might say no, but the insurance hour works for almost everyone. The phone switch works for absolutely everyone. And here's the math that matters. Stack even 3 of these. Say $40 a month off the phones, $38 a month off the insurance, and a rent increase that didn't happen. And you're keeping well over $1,000 a year that was quietly walking out the door. That money already has a job if you've been following this series. It goes across the wall, into the fund, $20 and $30 at a time. And notice what every single one of these 5 has in common. The discount existed all along. The program existed all along. The law existed all along. The only thing missing was somebody telling you to ask. That's the real lesson of this entire channel. The system is not going to volunteer a single dollar, but it will hand over a surprising number of them to the person who knows which question to ask, and asks it politely, in writing, with proof of income attached. So now I want to know, and be specific in the comments, which of these 5 calls are you making first? And if you've ever gotten a bill lowered or erased, tell us how, because your comment might be the thing that saves somebody else's month. If you want to see how people on tight budgets are building a second stream of income, a few $100 extra a month, without a second full-time job, that's the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it. This is the last dollar. Make yours count.